For many, the chance of meeting, let alone emulating their hero, is an impossible dream. But for this 14-year-old Chingford lad, David Beckham, the dream has become a reality. Because despite being chased by top clubs Spurs and Arsenal, he's just signed with Robson's home team, Manchester United.
David, will you hurry up? You're late.
Despite the usual teenage lethargy, David's a determined lad with outstanding football ability. Father Ted, himself a lifelong Man United fan, says David's move to Old Trafford is a step in the right direction. What have Manchester United offered him?
4 years, which is 2 years YTS and 2 years apprenticeship, and with a further 2 years if he progresses.
Now what happens now? He's leaving school and he's going north. Now what's going to happen?
Most likely, which ain't been decided yet, he'll move up to Manchester, either finish his schooling off up there, and then he'll go into digs up there. We've met his next mum and dad, so to speak, and they're lovely, so we've got no worries.
They're so good to him. I mean, Brian Robson, they're so natural. They all talk to him, the players, and Alex. It's just like a big family. And when we're up there, you can see he's just so happy, he's part of it.
There's a picture of you there, signing with Alex Ferguson. What was it like when you signed that? How did you feel when you...
Well, it was brilliant, straight from when we left here. When we got there, it was just brilliant. Signing the paper and that. Just couldn't believe it was happening.
And what are they like when they talk? What are the players like? Your big hair, Robson, I mean, what's he like?
Well, he's just brilliant. I talk to him like just a mate, really. He's really nice.
And they're all the same, I suspect.
Yeah.
I presume you're really looking forward to it. But won't you miss home?
I probably will miss it a little bit, but I'll be doing what I want to do, so.
Yes.
Yeah, I used to seem to take all the free kicks, so I used to be able to whack a ball quite far. But like the free kicks when I was younger, I just used to whack them and they used to go over the keeper's head because they were so little. But it's a bit different these days, you know, it's more concentrating and things like that.
It's the old eye contact and things like that. Is it with the goalkeeper? Do you play mind games?
Well, I look where the keeper is first, but I always like look the other way to what I'm hitting it. So I'll look that way and it'll go that way. So
I noticed you did that a few times, yeah.
Well, they all know that now, all the keepers now. So I'm going to be on the telly.
So there's the goal. So you put the ball down, you look one way, play it the other, and you need a bit of a confidence booster, don't you? So come on,
you go now.
How much? Best of 10?
All right.
Okay.
Best of 10.
Best of 10. Money's on. Easy,
Money's
man.
on.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, we got it. So there's quite a lot of kids these days are going to be David Beckham when they're taking those free kicks for the club or the school team. Come on, give us some advice. What should they think about? What should they do?
Well, my advice is just practice. That's all I've done is just practice. I practiced on my own, both feet, you know, just hitting the ball against the wall or playing with my dad and things like that. I just used to practice all the time, non-stop.
Blast it, place it, inside of the foot, outside of the foot, what should they do?
Well, I'll just place it. I'd place it, but you can whack it sometimes, it does work.
Just a little bit of trivia for you, because you may not be aware, not knowing that much about the League Cup. How many handles has the League Cup got?
3, is it?
That's right, you're right. Ole Gunnar didn't know, and I mean, I wonder how your foreign players who won't know really anything about the League Cup, has it dawned on them that this is a big match?
Of course they know it's a massive game, you know, not just because it's Liverpool, but, you know, it doesn't matter whether you're English or Norwegian or Dutch or, you know, or from Bury like Gary, but, you know, it's still a massive game. We all realise how important it is.
And do you get nervous before a game?
I used to when I first started, but now I've played quite a few games for my club and for my country, and, you know, I've got used to it now. There's still a few nerves, you know, before the European Cup final I had a few nerves, but once you start the game, then they go straight away. It's good that so many of the England team are involved in this title race because, you know, every one of us are being kept sharp. You know, as last season, it was difficult because, we'd won the league with so many games to go. We eased off a little bit, and that's not good for anyone, especially with a massive competition coming up. So it is good that, the title race is so close this year.
Gracias. Señor Di Stefano, Señor Perez, ladies and gentlemen, I have always loved football.
A mí siempre me ha gustado el fútbol.
Of course, I love my family.
Por supuesto, quiero a mi familia.
I have a wonderful life.
Y tengo una vida maravillosa.
But football is everything to me.
Pero el fútbol es todo para mí.
And joining Real Madrid is a dream come true.
Y formar parte del Real Madrid es un sueño hecho realidad.
So I'd just like to say thank you to everyone for coming and joining me in my arrival. And gracias. A la Madrid.
I don't know. After putting this on, I think it'd have to be sort of Gladiator or Braveheart, something like that. 'Cause, I love the outfit, and even though I enjoyed putting the cowboy outfit on as well, but I think this one just tops it slightly. Vamos mejorando, pero tenemos que seguir trabajando y juntos. Mister is impresionante persona, muy bueno entrenador. In English, por favor.
That's it then. 4 games, Real Madrid crash course. Sum it up.
I've really enjoyed it. I think it's been good being away, for 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks with the players, because it's given me a chance to bond. Whereas I think if I'd have been in Madrid, training then going home, I think it's helped me a lot being away and getting to know the players and them getting to know me.
Give us an insight into them. The personalities.
They're a great bunch of lads, it's just, every one of them, is a team player, and every one of them, is a star. It's just nice to be in a team where the atmosphere is just, it's an amazing atmosphere, and it's nice to be brought into a team and accepted, straight away.
One of the biggest compliments maybe the Spanish press could pay you is that you already look like you're on the wavelength out there. You already look like you've been wearing the shirt for a lot more than 4 games.
Well, I think you could go out there and play with them players. I think that, they're a great bunch of players, and a great, their ability you can see and everyone knows. So to fit into a team like this, it's not hard, but it is nice that the players actually accept me, and I get on well with every one of them.
How have you dealt with it all, David? Because forget the football, the other stuff it's baffled and bemused everyone who maybe isn't from Asia. What do you do with that? How do you cope with that?
It's something that I've got used to, but it's nice. It's nice after the summer that I've had. It's nice that getting back to playing football. That's the thing that I love doing, and that's the thing that I love doing most of all. And it's important for me to come back and get back playing and get into the games as soon as possible.
I've seen a lot of opinion about this, but yours is the most important one. Do you think you've become a better player since you've been with Madrid?
Without a doubt, I believe I have personally. Obviously, it's up to other people and what they think, but me personally, I think I've become a better player because I've been able to learn off, the likes of Zidane, Ronaldo, Roberto Carlos, Figo, and Raúl. These players are world-class players, and I'm always looking for improvement, and I definitely feel as if I have done that, especially in the first half of the season.
Of course, you're going to be head-to-head with Zidane, aren't you?
Yeah.
You'll be on the right-hand side, he'll be on the left-hand. You're going to see something of him.
Yeah, I will, obviously, but obviously not too much of him. But he's a world-class player, the best player in the world for me.
And not only is he a great player, he's a really nice person.
Being captain, we know you enjoy that for England. Did you enjoy the experience tonight?
Yeah, of course. You know, you always enjoy captaining any side. You know, I love doing it for England, everyone knows that, and I love doing it for Man United when I get a chance. So, yeah, I enjoyed it.
And this European competition, I mean, you're now in with a very strong lineup for the second stage. Is this a bit special to you personally, this European Champions League?
Yeah, I think it's special to everyone involved in the, you know, in the team, in the squad, because you know we're through to the next round. We know there's a lot of massive, big teams in the next round, and we've been there before, and you know we're lucky enough to be there again this year. So we've just got to keep playing and keep getting results.
It doesn't seem so many weeks ago that one or two people misguidedly were writing off your season. You've come back with a bang, haven't you?
I think there's always you know, certain people around that do have got their opinions on players and teams, but you know I carry on playing my football, I enjoy my football, and that's all that matters.
A little rest did you good, didn't it?
Yeah, well, I told you it would. Some people told me I was too small to become a footballer, so you know I drank the raw eggs and the milk and a little drop of whiskey, that you know, and drank the Mackerson and the Guinness, what my dad sort of threw down me. But you know, it built me up, and you know I'm 6'1" now.
And a message from Gary Neville. Of course, he's back in the ITV studios. Can you not ring him at 4 o'clock in the morning?
I know, I had to. I was on the coach and I was bored, so I decided to ring him and pretend that I didn't know the time, and he was, you know, he weren't happy, but
did he make sense when you spoke to him?
Gary's really polite, so he was like, "Oh, how you doing?" I was like, I knew he was gutted because it was about quarter past 4, and I said, "Why? What's the time there?" And he was like, "It's 6:45." I knew it was quarter to 4 or something like that, and he was absolutely devastated. But I'll do it again.
Do you like Bex's bonsai?
I love the bonsai. Apparently I was the only one who knew what it was. So.
You were the only one who knew what it was, and you're the only one who gets it. It's specially reserved for the captain.
That's my feminine side coming out.
David? David, what a contrast from 4 years ago. Congratulations, and what a night for you.
Thank you. It's it's a special moment, special night. Not just for me and my family, and you know everyone involved. You know who was involved 4 years ago, but you know the fans, the players, the management. You know everything.
What about the penalty? Straight down the middle.
Yeah, well, obviously, you know, we hadn't talked about who was going to take the penalty before the game, but, you know, it was between me and Michael, and, you know, I went up to Michael after he'd got the penalty, and I said to him, you know, he said to me, "You or me?" And I said, you know, I wanted it, so, you know, I just put my head down and hit it.
Did you think about it at all?
Nope, not at all, not at all. You know, I think there was a few antics going on around me, but, you know, it's just nice to, I think, you know, I've said it before, you know, we're a massive footballing nation, and we're a massive footballing nation, and we've been waiting a long time for a result like this. You know, regardless of what else goes on around football, you know, beating Argentina, you know, means the world to a lot of people, and just because it means a lot to me because they're one of the best teams in the world and the best players in the world.
They played very well in the second half, Argentina. I mean, it was a real job hanging on.
Yeah, well, that's the best thing about us. You know, we had to dig in, and you know we're really pleased for every one of us because you know right the way through from David Seaman, right the way you know to the front too.
Realistic expectations maybe now because of the injuries. Maybe there might be slightly less expectation around you. Is that maybe a good thing in a way?
Maybe it's a good thing, but at the end of the day, you know the expectations are high from everyone in the nation. So it's up to us to you know prove we can go to a big competition and do well, even though we are you know missing a few players.
What does the captain expect?
To win. That's what you got to look at. You got to look to win. Greatest World Cup memory for me personally, scoring the goal against Colombia, scoring my first England goal in a World Cup game for me was special, and of course the goal against Argentina. I think that tops the goal against Colombia actually, but you know the emotion around that goal was so special for me. outside of myself, I'd say Diego Maradona's goal against England in the same game as the handball. The goal that I'm talking about is the goal where he run past about 10 of our players. That was a special goal.
David, did you deserve better, or was that a fair result?
It's a fair result, I think. I think if you don't, I said it during the week. I said it in a press conference that if you don't play well, you don't win games. It doesn't matter what sort of form a team's in. When you've got players like Omri, Fabregas, Reyes, they can capitalise on errors or on team play, and the team didn't perform tonight, so it's a fair result. On November 15th, 2000, Peter Taylor gave me the greatest honour of my career in making me captain of England and fulfilling my childhood dream. Now, almost 6 years later, having been captain for 58 of my 95 caps, I feel the time is right to pass on the armband as we enter in a new era under Steve McClaren. It has been an honour and a privilege to have captained our country, and I want to stress that I wish to continue to play for England and look forward to helping both the new captain and Steve McClaren in any way I can. I came to this decision some time ago, but I had hoped to announce it on the back of a successful World Cup. Sadly, that wasn't to be. This decision has been the most difficult of my career to date. But after discussing it with my family and the closest to me, I feel the time is right. Our performance during this World Cup has not been enough to progress further, and both myself and all the players regret that, and are hurt by that more than people realise. I wish to thank all the players for their support during my time as captain, as well Peter Taylor, Sven and all the coaches. I would also like to thank the press and of course the England supporters, who have been both great to me and my teammates, and I want them to know, for me, it has been an absolute honour. Finally, I have lived the dream. I am extremely proud to have worn the armband and been captain of England, and for that I will always be grateful. Thank you very much.
I think it's a very smart guy, very polite guy, and then he's an incredible player. I asked him the possibility to come here. It was my choice. His experience, his charisma, and that's why he's here. It's okay, David?
Thank you.
So, okay, you're welcome.
I have to give him some money after.
He wrote something before. I'm just reading.
My French, I haven't spoken French for quite a few years. Since I was at school, so yeah, that's quite a few years. So I'm definitely going to have to brush up on it. But no, I'm excited. It's something that we've been working and talking about for quite a while, and now it's finally happened. My wife and children, they will be staying in London because the children go to school there now. So yeah, so we're all excited as a family, to be honest.
Well, it's the first World Cup since 1998 that you haven't been involved in.
Yep.
You know that?
I do know that. But these things happen in careers and lives, and obviously proud of what I've always done for England and played in a few World Cups and had some really good times. But this is an exciting one, playing in Brazil. World Cup in Brazil doesn't get much better than that.
When you look at England's team and the squad that Roy's assembled, what strikes you most?
It's a young team, it's fresh, they're all in great form, they've all had good seasons for their clubs. Like I said, they're young kids, but people have turned around and said, are they worried about young kids going into a massive tournament? There's no reason to be worried, because at the end of the day, they're all playing in the best league in the world, the toughest league in the world, and they're all playing against top quality players week in, week out. So there's no reason why they won't go into this competition. Like I said, they're young kids, and young kids are always, they're nerve-free. They go into these competitions.
We saw that with Michael Owen in '98. We saw that with you in '98. So would you favour England going, in terms of first 11, with a younger team?
I don't know. You know, at the end of the day, you do need a bit of experience in there, and we have got experience in this squad. You know, obviously Stevie's come off one of the best seasons for him, for Liverpool, and he's in great form. You know, and the young lads are going to need someone like Stevie, and obviously having Frank in the team, you know, having that experience is so vital. But you know, the young lads be so excited about this World Cup.
Looking at the group, what chance do you give England of getting through the group, and then where do you see them later on in the tournament, hopefully?
Obviously it's a tough group, but you know, all the groups are tough in a World Cup. You know, when you reach these stages,
do they get through the group for you?
Of course they can. You know, it's a big game against Italy, obviously the first game, but they'll be up for it. You know, the lads have prepared right. They always prepare well for big competitions, and obviously Roy is exceptional at that. So you know, they'll be ready.
You'll miss it.
Of course, I'll always miss it. It's one of the things that I miss most about football, playing for England. So.
And a final word for me just about Miami, because you're here. Obviously the MLS franchise is yours to build. What's the latest?
Just here, kind of waiting to secure the site. You know, that's an important part for us. But you know, we're excited because we're able to start a team from scratch, a professional team that we're bringing into the league. We're bringing to a great, vibrant city with so many diverse cultures. And we're funding it ourselves, and I think that makes the people of Miami very happy. So they're excited about it. It's just once we secure this site, then it's all you know, it'll be ready.